We've been doing movie nights for
years.
So Gen Xer and
Gen Z.
I hate these ones because they're blue. I hate those, formal uniforms because they're white. Who makes a formal uniform white? Somebody get me in touch with the costume director.
And he crashes them.
Yes, you do. I'm very much in that transition period between, teenage years and adult years. Mm-hmm. Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
That's the thing. I don't think we have to leave that behind when we're grown up.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk. This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew. Guess who I was working with today?
Who?
I was working with a client of mine who actually worked with the Beatles at Apple Corporation. It is, because...
That's coincidentally today, too.
It's just kind of he wrote an entire book on the twilight of Apple Corporation and what it was like to work with them. He's got posters of them all through the house. He's actually got a sign that says "Hippies enter in back." It's fun, cool stuff. I bring this up because we headed out to see A Hard Day's Night at the Case Western Film Society. I finally got you back out to the Case Film Society.
It has been a while.
It really has, and I feel like...
Not since... I don't know where this is going in the upload schedule, but not since we went to go see Castle in the Sky, which will be with one of our Ghibli months.
Yeah,
I don't know
we got 2 Ghibli months, and that's...
I don't know where that's being posted, so...
I forget if it's March or May, but yeah. And this feels like this was the perfect place to see this. I feel like if you're going to watch one of these Beatles movies, and there's actually 5 of them.
There's 5 of them?
But if you're going to watch one of these, it should be in academia. It should be at the college. This is art. Kind of. So, Hard Day's Night is really the story of just a couple of days trying to get the Beatles at the very beginning of their popularity to a television recording, and them and their grandfather.
Yes, who is the only good thing about this movie. More on that later.
And hilarity ensues. I mean, really, that's it. It's hijinks ensue.
Yeah, I was hoping and praying, please don't make me tell the story. Please don't make me tell the story of this movie, because I had no idea what was going on in the entirety of this.
It's kind of wild. This is just everybody in this is an agent of chaos, and if you're not, then you're just kind of trying to move along with it. This is a much stranger movie than I remember, and I haven't seen this since I was a teenager. Yeah,
I think you said you went to go see it, what was it, 13-ish years ago?
No, 13-ish years ago, no. When I was probably around 15.
Oh, okay.
That's far more than 13-ish years, but not a lot younger than you. Just a little bit younger. This brought back some memories. I suddenly remembered how incomprehensible the Beatles' Liverpool accents were.
Oh yeah, their weird British accents. It was... I remember we were sitting in there and I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, and they start speaking and I'm internally I'm like, they're British? What do you mean they're British? I know nothing.
I just heard like 1,000 heads blown, you've lost the audience by this
Okay,
point.
but listen, I know nothing about these people. It's not like I would have known that.
It's also not just that they're British. It's that specific accent. That accent is that Liverpool accent, and early on, like they're fresh out of Liverpool. It's just a couple years after their debut, and it's tough. Before the movie was released, United Artists, the film company, actually asked the director, "Could you maybe dub the voices?"
Yeah.
And Paul McCartney got mad. He's like, "Look, if I can understand a cowboy talking Texan, they can understand us talking Liverpool."
I'm
Sir
still
Paul
not
McCartney, I beg to differ.
I'm still not used to that accent. I feel like subtitles would have been very helpful here.
I really do too. I kind of needed them.
Generally, whenever we watch a movie or a TV show, we always have subtitles on because, well, it allows for easier conversation, but also...
Well, I have a hard time hearing.
The ferrets in my brain do not enjoy not having words.
Yeah.
They really don't enjoy it.
And it's not like we're reading the subtitles the entire time. It's more that it's just there to fill in the gaps. Because, like, you hate dubs. Or not dubs.
Subtitled
because, like,
stuff.
Yeah, you hate subtitled stuff.
Because the thing with subtitles is... I have a little bit of a problem, because plainly speaking, anime-wise, in a general consensus, I don't want to have to be reading text on the bottom of the screen and also paying attention to the beautiful animation at the same time, which is such a shame because there's so many good shows that are only subtitled, but I can't get through it. I would almost compare this level of non-understanding to when we watched Murder on the Orient Express, because it was still that hard for me to understand. I think this was slightly better, but I couldn't understand a thing. So
that's a Belgian accent rather than a British one,
nonetheless.
But still, yeah. No, that's interesting. That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't help that the movie is nonsense. I mean, the movie is nonsense.
It's like okay, let me figure out how to even say this. It felt like I was sitting through either both a very short movie and a very long movie at the same time, but also we're jumping from thing to thing. At one moment, we're going on TV. The next minute, we're running around in a field. Like, how... I can understand hijinks, but it's not consistent. I don't know what I'm watching.
Well, and I think part of that is because you think you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
We are not watching a movie.
Yeah, we talked about this in the driveway home, because you mentioned before we had gone over there that it was like, I asked you, like, is this supposed to be a documentary, or is this meant to be, like, a movie, or...
And it's a mockumentary. At least that's the word for it. There's a few of them out there. There's some good ones out there, too.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of some of the ones that I've seen. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched, like, proper documentaries.
I mean, honestly, Josie and the Pussycats is kind of a mockumentary in that it's a satire on the industry.
Oh.
And this is a little bit of that as well. But, I mean, there's also stuff in here that that is real. I mean, like...
Would that make The Devil Wears Prada a kind of mockumentary? Because it's making fun of the fashion industry?
Maybe. It's a little more of a stretch. And usually a mockumentary will involve real people.
Okay.
But the word didn't exist at this time either.
Like that documentary, the Doctor Who documentary that we watched. Documentary, the Doctor Who. Words do not work today. And frankly, and I said this before, but the only real, like, Beatles stuff that I know, it comes from two sources. First of all, it comes from, well, my final choir concert, we did the Beatles for our songs.
That was a surprise to me, actually. I'm looking through it, and then suddenly it's clicking. this entire thing is a Beatles review. How weird. How cool.
Because it's funny, because I think we started off with Mamma Mia, and then we ended up switching over to this one because we couldn't get the music for it, and that
really
no, but we couldn't find like a good track for it. And coming from me, or it might not have been Mamma Mia. It was some sort of like really popular.
I would have been
musical.
happier with Mamma Mia.
But even with my like hacking skills to like cut and drag the music out from things, even I couldn't get it to work. So we ended up going over to this, which was actually really fun. I got to break out a ton of the tie-dye, and we went up to the nursing home and also sang the songs of the nursing home, which was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's very cool.
That was so much fun. So essentially, and even then, I only know like a couple of songs from it. I think our set list was like Yellow Submarine, Here Comes the Sun, and like two others. I don't know I don't remember all the song names, but it comes from. Oh, sorry.
It comes from that. Yeah, no, and I thought it was hilarious because you pointed out to me that through this entire movie, you recognized one song.
I called it out to you. I was like, finally, a song I actually know.
On the way there too, we were playing Meet the Beatles. We were playing. My father had a copy of Meet the Beatles. I grew up listening to that record, so that's the one that I know, and that's kind of, if I've got to pick an era that I prefer, I like that era before we get weird, before we get to the White Album, before we get to Yellow Submarine. But but it also comes down to, like, I'm still stuck on, this isn't a real movie. Like, United Artists was not interested in making a movie.
United Art, is that the company that produced it?
Yes.
Okay.
United Artists wanted a soundtrack.
Oh, they just wanted music?
Yes. See, Beatles were signed on Capitol Records.
Oh.
United Artists wanted a piece of that.
That's actually not a bad way to go about it.
Seriously, they made a movie just so they could have a soundtrack.
And that would make sense as to why it makes no sense. I
mean, because they do not care.
Yeah, you give them full creative freedom, let them do whatever the heck they want, and like, okay, I just want music. Just do your do.
And yeah, let's talk about.
But even before we get into that, because I did have one other thing for how I actually know the Beatles.
Okay. Yes.
It was choir. And this isn't going to come to a surprise. This isn't going to be a surprise to anybody that knows me in real life, but Ned Flanders. They did like a couple episodes in later seasons that were like his hyperfixation on it. So I know two names. I don't remember them now, but I knew them a while back.
I actually didn't realize that. That must be seasons of Simpsons that I didn't pay a lot of attention to.
I'd pull up a picture, but my phone is like almost dead. But no, they
like he must. It's got to be Paul and John that he would have been fixated on.
I'm not sure, like the name. I just know of names of it because of that. Because I remember there's a whole episode where Lisa and Bart like break into his basement, Hello Neighbor style, and like. They break something and then they have to go on a hunt to find some sort of precious artifact. I couldn't tell you more than that, but I know that it exists, and if my phone wasn't actively dead, I would show you a picture.
No, that's fascinating. That is absolutely fascinating. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I was going to talk about, though, too, was because we were talking about like the creative, okay, you have complete creative freedom to do whatever you want. Well, also, so the director, this is Richard Lester. And this is the movie that he's probably best known for, or that he was probably best known for, until the early 80s. You know what else Richard Lester directed?
What else did he make?
Richard Lester directed Superman 2.
Is that one of the good ones or one of the bad ones? Or is that going to start a war?
That's actually a shockingly complicated question.
How is that a complicated question?
Because in some ways it's considered one of the best, and in other ways it's a massive disappointment. So the first 2 Superman movies were supposed to be back to back. Basically, we're shooting the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's Richard Donner doing that. And Richard Donner got like 1.5 movies done.
Oh.
Maybe a little more. And, well, they had to break for editing and get the movie out. And then, holy crap, the movie made money. So, some people wanted a raise. And some costs were getting cut.
Oh, I know who you're referencing here. It was Jor-El that like quit because they wouldn't pay him enough money, right?
Among others, yes. Jor-El did not come back. You know who else didn't come back? Lex Luthor didn't come back.
What?
And he's a major part of Superman 2.
I would even say that's like the most Lex Luthor thing to do, but still.
So, like, whenever they need him, though, whenever they need a shot to insert, they slapped a bald wig on somebody and shot him from behind. It's it's like
he's just faceless.
Yes, but I mean they had half of it shot.
That's hilarious. It's
so,
like what's that guy from Planet 9 with like the Dracula cape, blah blah blah,
yes.
kind of thing. Oh, that's hilarious.
So Richard Lester came in and was hired to take over for Donner, and Lester didn't have like a whole movie to shoot, half a movie, a quarter of a movie, but he ended up reshooting tons of stuff.
What?
Like weird stuff that didn't need to be. It's not like we're missing actors. It'll be the same scene, the same angles. They're just wearing different clothes.
That's weird.
Like trying to accumulate enough footage to justify putting his name on and as like the main director.
I mean, I can kind of get that, but.
This is the dude though that is shooting this movie. So I mentioned up on social media that we were going to see this, and it was cool. And then one guy, like literally in all caps, Richard Lester has no talent, and I'm amused because he's mad from Superman 2. By the way, we actually have a copy of a re-edit of Superman 2.
Oh,
so it's the Donner cut. If you want. Just a hack for everybody out there. If you want a completely different experience watching Superman 1 and 2, grab the Donner cut for 2 and grab the Salkind International cut for 1, because that was like the television edit, which is like an hour longer, tons of other stuff, a lot of Easter eggs. Put those two together, and it's a really interesting experience. But now, back to the Beatles. You know, it's not surprising that I want to talk about something else, or anything else, because...
The Beatles are...
Well, here's the thing. I don't like the Beatles. Like, first and foremost, I'm not cool enough to like the Beatles, and if I did, Ringo would be my favorite.
Okay.
So, all Beatles fans just want to wash their hands of me right now. But...
Oh, no.
There's an old thing from Pulp Fiction where it's like you can like there's Elvis people or the Beatles people. You can like them both, but you can't like them equally. Yeah, we're probably Elvis people, and the fact that figures in so much to Stitch doesn't hurt.
Oh, you know what? You're not wrong about that.
So it's... I like this as a piece of pop culture history. I like it as a piece of art. And something this weird has to be a piece of art.
Yeah, and heck, I just want to briefly talk about our experiences getting to the theater. We drove through like ice and snow in order to get here, and
it was fine until we got into Cuyahoga County.
Yeah.
Lorain County was plowed.
Our city was beautiful, but no, we immediately we're like sliding on the roads. I'm like trying to stay quiet because I can feel you panicking as we're like driving on these roads.
Well, it's like I figured, okay, we've got until we get like 2/3 of the way in, and if I fishtail once, 2/3 of the way in, we're turning around, and I didn't. But it's not not until I get off into the city.
Like we took a picture when we arrived right by the poster, like we always do, and it absolutely showed it like covered in snow, like completely like blizzardified. And you actually looked at me and you were telling me it's okay, I can edit smiles onto it, and I'm like, no, don't do that, because this is exactly how this is perfect. It encases the whole trip there.
Cleveland is in the middle, and our January in particular was like one of the worst winters in 80 years.
Yeah, we've had such strange blizzards
It's like
this year.
it just didn't stop.
Yeah.
So that's part of why it was rough getting in there, and then it's such a strange film, and it's like
Yeah. Speaking of like strange film, I'll admit I was kind of excited going into this one. I wasn't really sure what I was going to be expecting. And I think this is the first time I've actually walked out of a movie actually not liking it. I actually didn't like this movie like at all. And it's
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I have like a couple reasons. Like the humor is a bit childish to me. There's some stuff there that is funny. The grandpa, he's the best part of this entire movie.
We gotta go back and talk about the grandpa because you're not wrong.
Yeah, and he is like the good bit of humor in it. But it just I didn't enjoy this. I didn't like it. And that's new because I don't usually walk out of stuff genuinely not liking it.
I mean, it's not like they're trying that hard. Like you were mentioned, like when they run into the field.
Yeah.
And they run into the field, or there's one moment where they're, like even in the opening sequence, one of the guys stumbles.
Yeah.
He falls. He rips his pants and it keeps going.
Yeah.
That was an accident.
Really?
And they just kept it in. All throughout this thing, the guys are basically just ad-libbing tons of their dialogue. And it's wild. But then again, like I said, nobody cared. They weren't expecting to make their money on this movie. And this may speak to a generational thing so let me talk about that for a second. Because it's 1969, I think. Okay? Movies go out in the movie theater, and then they're gone.
Yeah, you've
forever.
told me about that occasionally.
But I mean, they're gone forever. So they're expecting to sell just a few ticket sales, but you'll buy a record for 2 or 3 times what you would pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
And you might replace that record. And you might hand it off. The only way you're going to make money on something like this is if it plays over and over, if you go to see it more than one time.
Yeah, I guess.
And they're not expecting that. There's no DVD. There's no VHS.
Yeah.
You're not going to own it. There's no streaming. You're not going to buy. Nobody's expecting anybody to buy the movie. They're expecting them to buy the soundtrack.
That reminds me of something you told me a while back with a Superman soundtrack. I think it was for a play.
Yeah.
But like
for the Broadway show.
Yeah, like you made up your own stories with it and would like just listen to the music. That's fascinating. I've gone in and out of a ton of fandoms over the years, and it's been kind of funny that because for a while when I would listen to music, I listen to fan songs. I don't listen to normal music. I would just pick stuff that makes my brain go, ooh, I like this. And then like years later, I'll come back to it and I'll be like, oh, that's what that meant.
That's funny. I will do that with soundtracks sometimes too, especially like instrumental soundtracks, orchestral soundtracks. But here's the thing. This movie actually was a massive hit.
Really?
Because people kept going back to see it to connect with the Beatles. You have to understand how big the Beatles were, and I don't think there's anything that is comparable
Taylor Swift?
in your generation. No.
No?
You remember seeing like the girls chasing the guys.
Yeah, like those huge crowds and such.
And the concerts where the girls just kept screaming and crying and fainting, and it was just pandemonium.
I mean, I would still compare that to Taylor Swift, but...
Yeah, but this was happening all the time. I mean, all the time. In stadiums. The Beatles stopped touring.
Oh.
At the height of their popularity.
Why?
They wouldn't give concerts anymore because it was just a room of screaming girls.
Oh.
Nobody could hear the music. Nobody could listen to the music.
Oh, no!
It was that enormous. Again, like I said, there's nothing... Taylor Swift does not compare. John Lennon once said, the Beatles are bigger than Jesus.
Oh.
Now, you took some heat for that.
that calls back to my Ned Flanders reference. Ha 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 ha.
But at the same time, I'm not certain he's wrong.
Huh.
It was that massive of a thing, so that kind of, I get how this movie actually made money. Poor Richard Lester didn't have any back end.
Oh.
He didn't have any royalties set up.
Oh, no.
Because nobody thought this was going to make any money. He got his £6,000 and... That's
funny. Even when we were at the theater, it was announced that this was like the birthday pick of one of the employees there, which is why they were showing it.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of interesting, actually. It's hard to relate to that big of a music star. Just
it really
like
is.
I said, I don't listen to normal music. My friends do, but I just don't. So I can't really relate to that, like... What, there's a term for it where you like fall in love with like a celebrity, so see something. I'll figure it out eventually.
Well,
it's
and
like
I thought one of the reasons I wanted you to see this was to try and compare this to what you saw in K-pop Demon Hunters, because the pop idol thing, it's the closest thing that I can possibly relate to you, especially to something that is as big and as. That you were as into. I mean, we can talk about Josie and the Pussycats all day, and I'd love to. We need to actually do a podcast on that. We need to do a rewatch.
We should rewatch that movie.
Because
was so
again,
good,
so much better than it had any right to be.
Exactly, that's been the case with a lot of our stuff lately.
It has,
but even
not like, this, but for most of our stuff. Yeah.
And actually, I do want to give some credit where credit is earned, aside from like the grandpa, but. Different from you, instead of, because I was so bored with these like Beatles, I was actually watching the background a ton during this movie.
Yeah,
and like
that.
I don't know.
I usually do that, and I didn't.
I was noticing so many funny things. Let me see. Do I have enough battery at my phone? Okay. One of the things that I noticed at least is, do you remember that scene where we've got the two people that are, it's one of the Beatles and a girl. They're in the hallway. They're like moving back to let people through the backstage and stuff.
Yes.
In the background, we see, like, a couple of showgirls going into a side room. You see, like, 2 of them going in, and then you see, like, 1 going in, and then there's, like, 10 that exit all at once. And those... I'm sure it's, like, just, like, a changing room or, like, a powder room or something. But seeing, like, that random stuff, I'm watching, like... this dog running around in the background in another scene. We've got people that are, like, arguing and, like heck, even watching some of the girls, like, as they're doing random things, like, while they're on stage, or watching, if you watch during the TV broadcast, you've got 3 levels of people. You got the ground floor, the upper floor, and then you've got the top floor. If you look at the medium where our gaze is directed, they're all super, super upbeat, yelling, cheering, and you look up and they're just standing there. Like, they're not expecting, like, they're not even expecting to be
I wonder if they're
visible.
even there.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating, because they're just standing there doing nothing.
That's really interesting.
Like I said, I was loving watching the backgrounds with these.
No, and I enjoy a lot of that stuff. There's one scene in here in particular that I'm a little weirded out by, and like I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh.
So they're still on the train. I love the train stuff, by the way. The train stuff is a lot of fun. But they get to the back of the train and they're playing cards.
Yeah.
And then they're playing cards and they start to get it rhythmic, syncopated, and then it turns into a full-on song and concert.
That's fun.
And then ends where they're playing cards again. What just happened? Like, is this a dream? Is this a fantasy sequence? Is this how they're trying to
insert music and such?
Well, it is how they're trying to insert music, absolutely. But is this like where they're trying to get the feel of this is the card game and the song is making us rise above it and give us the emotions of the card? I'm probably overthinking this, but it's one of those moments where it's like, I want to know what exactly happened here.
Huh.
I mean, there's a chance at that moment, especially, to really, even through the whole film, to make a commentary on the price of fame. Because, I mean, all right, so they have to exit the train and run into a car and go through the car
to get to
into another car.
That was funny, honestly.
I mean, there's moments.
You showed me, like, I don't know if it was a trailer or if it was a music video, but you showed me something like that with that particular scene. Watching especially like that first 2 minutes of their hijinks of hiding from the fans, hiding in a photo booth, putting on a fake mustache, running with the crowd, like, heck, even as we're like with the cops and two people, like one of them and Grandpa gets arrested and they're running, and then one of the other Beatles is like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna run behind the cops. We're just gonna run with them.
That's
like,
Ringo. Ringo's running behind the cops
like
because he's
Scooby-Doo style crap. It's like, I love that. Like, those kind of hijinks are funny. I feel like it would be more funny if I knew more about these people.
It might be, but I mean, they're creating their characters at this moment.
That's true.
I mean, this, like I said, this is very early on because, all right, they've got the mop tops.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But, I mean, literally, these guys didn't cut their hair again until the 70s. So, it's not the Beatles that a lot of people think of, but it's the Beatles that I like. If I'm going to like a version, it's this version.
And can we talk about Grandpa? Because we've been meaning to talk about Grandpa. Grandpa is best. Grandpa is love. Grandpa is life. He is the best.
I mean, I'm assuming that this was, okay, we're going to throw in an established comedian because we want to make sure this works. Now, this is a good idea. Like, you take a popular personality who doesn't know what they're doing, and you surround them with a good, solid cast. One of my favorite sitcoms of all time, is like in my top 5, is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Really? And that's in your top 5?
It is absolutely brilliant. Uncle Phil is one of the great dad figures.
Was that the show or the movie?
No, it's a show.
It's
a TV show.
I
mean, it ran for 6-7 seasons. It's Will Smith.
Yeah.
And it's Will Smith's really first stuff. And Smith, I mean, he's just a rapper at this point. He's just this 16-year-old rapper kid.
Yeah.
Who spent too much money, got in trouble with taxes. He's got to find something to do. So the show comes up and it's like, this will take care of it.
Yeah.
But it also set him on a different trajectory. And they surrounded him with such a brilliant cast. Avery Brooks is an enormous actor. I'm using these big words, which somebody could take as, I'm not, no pun intended, because dude was a big dude. But no, he had enormous personality. He is one of those great father figures. I would put him on the same level as Captain Sisko in Deep Space Nine.
Really?
Serious biz. And it's one of the reasons I love this. But then we've got Alphonse Roberto as the son, the cousin, the brother figure who coming fresh off of Silver Spoons. And that man has unbelievable comic timing, and even when they decided to skew goofy and overacting, he knows what he's doing. There's not a bad actor in there. There's literally an actor that was in Doctor Who as the butler. Mm-hmm. So this formula works because a good supporting cast can uplift somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. It's one of the things, I've told you this before, if I'm going to play music, I'd love to play with people that are better than me. Mm-hmm. I don't want to look at them as a threat to me. They can only make me look better, and I can learn. Yeah. And I feel like that's the theory behind dropping Grandpa in here, because Grandpa is so skilled. Every time I laugh, it's gonna be Grandpa. He steals every scene he's in.
He does. Like, going so far as, well, like I said earlier, getting arrested by handing out, like... No, so...
Yeah, let's go. We gotta go before that.
Okay, so
because Grandpa's on the make, too. Grandpa's getting girls.
Okay, so Grandpa, he goes over to the Beatles and he's like, can I get y'all's autographs? And then he proceeds to spend, like, an hour... like recreating these autographs on these pictures, and then goes out onto the street to sell it with the street sign, and then gets arrested, and then goes in jail, and then breaks out of jail.
For fans like us, the fake autographs kind of hits a little too close to home. And you see him on like the dock at one point recreating those autographs on a stack. You see him manufacturing them.
He sits on a like escalator thing as it raises him up into the most like Polish like esque musical thing ever. Get this guy off stage, and they're trying to like shove him off stage.
A waiter comes to Grandpa's hotel room. He steals dude's tuxedo so he can go into the casino part. He also steals one of the guy's invitation to go into the casino part, and just
he gambles, and then when he runs out of chips, he grabs like the napkin from one of the waiters.
He grabs a tray.
He grabs a tray and napkin, and he goes over and
Here's
like
your bill.
Tip,
Yeah.
and holds it out and gets more chips, and then he sits back down, and it's. He recreates the Titanic in the bathtub. Like I don't know what's going on with this dude.
This is actually the reason to watch this movie. The shtick with the grandfather is so much fun. I want a movie just with him. Like let the Beatles show up for 10 minutes as a cameo, and then give me a movie just about Grandpa.
Like, and your grandfather is very clean, or your old man is very clean. And they say that throughout the whole thing, which was a little weird. But, no, Grandpa is easily the best part in this entire movie.
He is, and you know what? Having grown up with a grandfather that was a little bit of...
Cookie?
A little bit of madman and a little bit of genius equal parts. It's like, I relate to this. This is who I aspire to be. So... Yes, I guess that's our review of Hard Day's Night. Watch it for the grandpa, and we are going to be back with something that hopefully Maddie likes next week.
Yeah, I hope so. It had so much good to it, but I don't know. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.